This is the most famous card trick in the world, the 21 card trick. Chances are you're not even a magician, yet you have either seen it or you can do it yourself. This is the version of the 21 card trick you wish you knew all along. This is the 21 card trick taken to the next level. What you want to do is give these cards a genuine shuffle and then deal 3 even piles as you would in the original version. Now, unlike that version, you're not going to ask the spectator to think of a card. You're quite simply going to ask them to choose one of these 3 piles. Let's say they choose this one right here. Tell them to give them a shuffle and then think of the bottom card. And then ask them to shuffle the other piles as well, like so. And then you want to just place these all into one pile. Then the magician gives them one last shuffle. And then again, you deal the 3 piles onto the table. Now, unlike that original version, you are not going to ask them what pile their card is in. You are quite simply going to scoop up one pile at a time. Yet for some reason, you know exactly what their card is. And it just happens to be the 4 of hearts. Now that's the first phase. The second phase is you shuffle the cards again, and then you deal out 3 even piles one more time, like so. Now this time, you're going to ask the spectator to choose another pile. Let's say they choose this one here. Ask them to give them a shuffle, and then pick up a few cards, and remember the card that's on the bottom. And in this case, we've got that one right there. And then ask them to place this pile on top of one of these. So let's place those there, and let's bury it, and then ask them to shuffle the remaining in their hand, and then place those on top. And for the last phase, you're going to deal out 3 more piles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those are the last 7 there. Ask them to choose any pile they like. Let's say they choose these. These go to the side, these go to the magician. And the magician says, I want you to deal out a few cards onto the table, however many you like. So let's say we deal 1, 2, 3, and then place these to the side. Now, you ask the spectator, how many did you choose, and deal them on the table? 1, 2, 3. And remember, you just looked at a card earlier, and you could have looked at anyone at all, and you chose to count 3 cards, yet you counted exactly to the card that you looked at. That's the new 21 card trick, and let's see how that's done. Okay, so here's the explanation to the 21 card trick, but on steroids. Now, this is a super fun routine, and honestly, when you go to show people, they'll be like, oh, I've seen this trick. Trust me, they've not seen this version. So what you want to do is just grab 21 cards. It can be any random 21. And then the first phase is you deal 3 even piles onto the table. Now there's an important step that I'm looking at right now, and I'll show you in a second. What you're going to look at is the top card of each pile. So we've got the Ace of Diamonds, Ace of Hearts, and the 4 of Diamonds. Because when they go to gather a pile, you are going to peek at which pile that they take. So let's say they take the pile with the 4 of diamonds. You want to remember that card and say, just shuffle these cards in your hand. Now 9 times out of 10, they will shuffle the cards like this. And all they're doing is shuffling that 4 of diamonds to the bottom. Now timing is crucial here. So let me show you the timing. Let's say they go to pick up the pile. You quickly look at the top card as a 4 of diamonds. As they pick them up, just give them a shuffle, because you want them to do the overhand shuffle, and you want them to shuffle it to the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it's on the bottom. Now you're probably thinking, well, not everyone shuffles like that. I'm going to show you what will happen if they don't shuffle the 4 of diamonds to the bottom in a second. So let's say they do on this occasion. You tell them to shuffle the rest and just place these on the table as well, and give those a shuffle. As they're shuffling these cards here, so the last pile, you want to grab the pile with their card on the bottom and just throw it on top there casually. And then once these are done shuffling, just say throw those on top. And then you give these one more shuffle to create a bit more randomness. And then you quite simply deal out the 3 piles again. Now, in the original version, you ask the spectator, you know, what pile is your card in? You don't have to do it because you already know it's the 4 of diamonds. So you gather up one pile at a time, and I do this little move where you take all of the cards except for the last one, except for their card, and I flip it over as I grab them. And timing here is really important. So what you want to do when you're asking them, all right, just name your card, make sure this one's on the table before they say it. And then they'll say 4 of diamonds, and then boom, you can reveal the 4 of diamonds. So what happens if they don't do that shuffle correctly? Let me show you how to get out of it. So let's deal those 3 piles onto the table like this. So we can see the top cards, the 10 of spades, 4 of diamonds, and the ace of hearts. Let's just for tutorial sake take the 4 of diamonds again. So you see it's the 4 of diamonds, but they don't shuffle it to the bottom. What do? You tell them to put these back on the table and see if they do it on the next pile, and make sure you're seeing what the top card is. So let's say they give these a shuffle and they don't do it on this one as well. What if they take the 3rd pile and they don't do it here? No problem. What you want to do is say pick up any one of these 3 and just look at the bottom card. And so we've got the 8 of spades, and tell them to just place it on top and then throw these on top as well. Now you have to do what I call the 7-6-1 shuffle, and you want to do it quite quickly to make it look like you're just shuffling the cards. So what you want to do is you want to shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, place these on top, and then shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these go on top, and then 1, and their card is now on the bottom. Now how do you peek the bottom card? Very simple. Once you've done that 7-6-1 shuffle, you just want to turn the cards around like this, and I've just peeked the bottom card. Okay, so it's just a simple little peek like so, and then give these one more shuffle, and then now you deal the 3 piles onto the table, and you're not going to ask them what pile their card is in. You are simply going to remove 1 pile at a time, and we already know it's the 8 of spades, and you can just leave it on the table, and make sure you get your timing right too. Make sure it's there before they say it. That's the first phase. Now, what about the second phase? So let's give the cards another shuffle. Then you create 3 even piles again. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we're going to do it face down this time. Now they can choose any pile they want. Let's say they choose this one. Ask them to give them a shuffle. And then once they've done that, just say, I want you to pick up a few cards and just look at the bottom card. And they've got here the 4 of clubs, and tell them to put it on any one of these 2. So place those there and just bury the rest on top. And the ones in your hand, just give them a quick shuffle, creating more randomness. But all you're doing now is you're putting their card into 14th position. And so you take the cards back and you say, for the last time, I'm going to deal 3 even piles. But this time you want to count 7 into 1 pile, then 7, then 7. So you don't want to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, watch. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Their card is going to be that 7th card here in the middle. So it's going to be here. And then you just place these on top because there's 7 there. Now you want a magician's force, the middle pack. So what you want to do from here is say, just point to one of the packets. If they point to this one, perfect, you've nailed it. First off, just say, all right, just pick that up. What if they point to one of the others? Just say, point to a packet. Let's say they point to that one. You just say, all right, we'll put that aside. And when you've got 2 left, just say, point to another packet. Let's say they point to this one. You say, all right, pass that one to me. And then you hold on to that one. Okay, so that's just the magician's force. So we know the cards on top here. So once they have that packet, tell them to pick them up. Now the reason you want to hold a packet as well is you want to demonstrate what you want them to do. You say, look, you've got 7 cards in your hand. I just want you to deal any amount of number that you want onto the table. So you can deal 1, you can deal 2. It's entirely up to you. And the reason you're doing that is you're showing them how to do this deal. And so let's say they deal 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then say put these to the side. And then you put yours to the side as well. And then you just recap. Say, how many cards did you deal? Show me. Deal them onto the table. They'll go 1, 2, 3. And all they've done now is deal their card onto the top of the packet. And then you get your thunderous applause by doing the 21 card trick on the next level. Alright, just a quick little tip. So at the end, when they deal their cards onto the table, let's say they deal 3 and they place these to the side, they may only deal onto the table just 1 card. If they do that, that's like the holy grail. Like, you've kind of nailed it, because you've asked them, you know, to count as many cards you want on the table, and they just deal 1. Because their card is already on top in the beginning, they're just going to deal straight to their card, whatever it is. And so if you ask them to deal a few and they just go 1 and put that on the side, boom, you could not get a better ending than that, okay? And so that's just a little quick tip if they deal 1 card at the end.